We are joined by Mr. Addepalli Krishna Sai Kumar, the whole-time director at Apollo Microsystems, who joins us now. Mr. Krishna, my first question to you is: there's a new order win on cards, which is from Bharat Dynamics. Give us some more detail as to how this is going to benefit you, and what are the kind of levers from this order win.
Thank you. Good morning. So we have been telling that we are part of several indigenous torpedo programs, in particular heavyweight class, and in which we are a unique supplier of supplying the core homing system for this heavyweight torpedoes. So this is the first project where from the DRDO, the first time the production of this particular class of heavyweight torpedo is done by Bharat Dynamics, for which we being already a qualified partner in this particular program. This homing system supplies is actually given to us actually. And the scope of this is very, very big. We foresee that this could have a potential of more than 2,500 to 3,000 crores in next few years.
Okay, Mr. Kumar. So you are saying that the current 11 crore that we are currently projecting, from there on we expect a more than 2,000 crore for this segment as well, right? Also, I want to understand, in this heavyweight torpedoes and lightweight torpedoes, as you mentioned that there is a lot of scope in this. What is the kind of requirement that we are looking for? From which segments are we seeing more of these orders coming from? One is the Bharat Dynamics that you've mentioned, but which are the other areas wherein we are seeing this higher scope?
Specific to this, a particular homing system, this we had developed as a universal homing system. One for the heavyweight class and another is for the lightweight class for torpedoes. The present nominated agency for manufacturing of the torpedoes is only Bharat Dynamics Limited, and we are the qualified supplier for the homing system. So we foresee a lot of future potential for this particular heavyweight as a class. The lightweight class torpedo, homing system also, we have already an MOU with Bharat Dynamics Limited as a joint and co-development, and the homing system is already developed for the lightweight class, which is an advanced next generation software-defined homing system, which we have given for testing. The testing is in process now. We foresee that this number is also going to grow in next few years down the line.
All right, so big jump up that we are looking in the next foreseeable future from this segment over here. But I'll stick to this for catering to this kind of capacity that we are looking at and to grow our revenue base here. You already have 2 facilities which are under development. I want to understand what is the current timeline on the commissioning part, if you can give us that. And for the same, if you can mention what are the kind of capex numbers that we are looking at.
As I have been telling to markets earlier as well, that the Unit 2 is already ready. We are just looking for an auspicious date. It could fall somewhere in the month of October or something like that, in mid-October, something like that. Unit 3, we will be mostly likely to make it ready by February 2025. So Unit 2 also has a hangar facilities and a clean room facility. So, one part of the production can be done. And the Unit 1, where actually I am sitting now, I am talking with you, this itself has a decent production capacity as such. But this augmented capacities, including Unit 3, will be ready by 2025. In terms of the size of the capex that we are investing in for next 18 months, we'll invest close to around 250 crores.
Okay, next I want to understand that at present, what does your order book stand at, and what are the kind of order inflows in in totality that you're expecting overall in FY25?
We are just little above the the top line that we have done. The size of the order book in terms of it's close to around 430 crores as the day stands. Compiled around 10 days back, figures I'm telling. And I already gave a guidance earlier as well that we are going to do 30-35% on an upscale compared to the last financial year. But going forward, our order book is going to grow. Probably in next, couple of years, it will grow close to more than 2,000 to 2,500 crores. Okay,
and what is the kind of execution timeline for this order book?
It is a spread of an order book. Actually, some of the orders are spread of, a year or so, some 2 years, some 3 years, broadly. But this will be a continuity actually. But, sizable orders in terms of production will start coming in few months down the line from, now. And that's how, the buildup will be there over a period of time.
All right, so that's a strong growth trajectory over here, but I'll stick to more order related questions over here. I want to understand, except for torpedoes, there have been recent developments in futuristic drones as well on your part. I want to understand what is the kind of bidding opportunity that we are looking at in terms of our order pipeline, and also what is your outlook on the drone segment? You were currently involved in a lot of bids for drones, so I want to understand your take on this.
No, not specifically drone. We are aggressively bidding on anti-drone technology, for which last month, a month and a half back, we have received a Make-2 project. And there are many such similar counter UAS, anti-drone solutions, which are, RFIs. Recently, one more RFI released by Indian Army, and one we are trying, for Indian Navy as well. So this is one technology where heavily we are betting on, and the product maturity will be fully attained, including trials, by around April to May 2025. By the time it will be ready, so the potential in this is very big. So this year we'll be investing more than close to 60-70 odd crores in configuring all these products with the existing build chain blocks that are already available with us. So this is something which we are now heavily betting on, other than the mature technologies which we are already working with DRDO.
Well, that was a fair understanding, but now let's move on to the financials part over here. So in the last 2 years, your financials have been on a stronger trajectory. You're aiming for 1,000 crore of a top line in the next 2-3 years as well. I want to understand what are the key growth levers that are leading to this 50% of a growth that we are looking at for the next foreseeable years.
There are several programs where we are development cum production partner, like the one which I told about, the heavyweight torpedo. Similarly, there are several missile system programs. There are several guided, rocket programs in which the production, it is going to hit production either through a PSU or other large private defense system integrators. And we, being part of the ecosystem and the systems already developed by us, we foresee these production orders which are going to come ahead. We are going to have a lot of participation in that. It's only for that, we are now increasing our capex, keeping in view of the future large cap orders that we are expecting from the market.
Okay, and in terms of margins, they hover around the 24% mark. Do you expect them to sustain at the same level, or do you expect an upside from here?
On an EBITDA level, the margins will continue to increase as the size of the production orders in terms of percentage increases on the top line, which you can see from my Q1 23 to Q1 24. The overall the profit levels in terms of PAT also has increased, and my overall revenues also increased. We see that as there is a shift in the percentage of the production orders, there's a more visibility of the gross profit margin also increasing on a continual basis, on a quarter-on-quarter basis.
Okay, so an increasing trend that we should expect from a quarter-on-quarter basis going forward. Now, let's come on to the export side of the business. I want to understand what is currently the export mix, and considering the strong government foothold to export their domestic defense exports to the 50,000 crore mark, where are we currently positioned towards, and how are we capturing this opportunity as we look at?
Yeah, presently we do not have any exports, which we have till date we have not done any export, but we have already, submitted our proposals in a couple of countries for some of the matured platforms that we have already developed, and we are applying for, a license from MOD once we get a more clear spec requirements from the customers. And you can see that in next 1.5 years, from 18 months from now, I think we'll start getting orders in terms of exports. Okay,
so next 1.5 hours we can expect this number to come for the export number that we are looking at. Now, coming on to your R&D side, you've maintained a 7 to 8% of a range in last couple of quarters. Do we expect to sustain this range going forward also, and in which areas are we making higher investments?
This year, our budget that we have allocated for R&D is close to 50 crores, which is sizably almost close to double to what we have invested last year, actually. But in terms of percentage of revenues, it is going to be a similar levels.
Okay, and Mr. Krishna, I want to understand that in terms of outlook for 25, you've given a longer term perspective in terms of FY27, but from FY25 perspective, if you can give us some guidance as to what the top line and bottom line will be like.
Bottom line will be similar to the Q1 figures which we have given, and little on an upscale side. In the top line point of view, I can say 35% compared to last year. I think revenues will grow.
Okay, okay. Well, Mr. Krishna, thank you so much for giving us those insights on Apollo Microsystems, and of course, thank you so much for taking our time and speaking with us at NDTV Profit.